We're not parents yet.
Yeah.
But we plan to become parents a while from now.
Yeah, we keep pushing the date.
The reason why we need to talk to people like you is to like push it faster. Why do you think there is such a strong pressure on like sacrifice? You know, when the child is there, your life needs to slow down. You need to do this for the kid, and you need to sacrifice.
I think it's just
Society.
ingrained. Yes, it's like there's such a focus on kids should have a routine. Kids have to be in the same place. They have to do the same thing.
They have to go to school.
Yeah, and it's why?
Yeah.
Does anybody ever actually question it? Do you ever? And it's the same with jobs. Do you ever question, or do you just follow society and think, okay, I have to tick that box to go to university. I have to tick that box to get a job. When I have a kid, I have to get a house and have a car. If you ever question it and you think, but what would happen if I didn't do those things? Would my child still be fine? There's people that live completely different lives all around the world. And, you know, that's great. Why don't we, you know, I guess where you grow up, you kind of emulate that lifestyle. So like for the UK, in ours, we're talking about a societal view from there. But yeah, we just kind of always thought, well, why not? I mean, kids do kind of thrive off routine. I do understand where that comes from. But routine can mean so many things. Like if you have a bedtime routine with them, that's great. Winds them down, they go to bed. But you could do that bedtime routine in Singapore, in England, in Bali. You know, it's not limited to one kind of place. And I think people get afraid of what would happen if they step outside the norm. And maybe they've created this routine and they've been with their baby for 3 months and everything's okay, that they're nervous to then change that and go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Parenting is hard no matter where you are.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter.
So you may as well like up
you
the
might as well
level of fun and happiness around, other than that.
Does it make it harder or easier what you do?
We would say easier.
Easier.
I think.
When we're in one place for too long, we get itchy feet, and we're the opposite. We don't know what to do at home.
Yeah.
We want to be out. We want to be exploring or going for a walk or whatever it is. So we are kind of the opposite, you know.
Wow.
And whether that's because we've traveled for so long, I don't know. But yeah, being at home with our kids, we're like,
what do we do?
yeah.
That's such a unique perspective. And for context, I mean, your daughters are only 4 years old and 15 months.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's like, we're not talking here about you traveling with kids who are like 10 years old. You really walk the talk.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we always get messages of, when should we start traveling with our kids? We'd say in those early, especially newborn, it's the easiest. All they do is eat and sleep, and you need to change their nappy. That's it, right? They don't walk yet. So if you're taking flights or you're going on a boat, whatever it is, you're not
can't run away.
Exactly.
This is making me want to have a baby now.
This is it. So this is how we think of it, right? We're always thinking differently in a way. We always get comments on how well Mila speaks or how well she interacts with adults, and she's not shy, she's not embarrassed, she's not scared really. But I think that's another thing is she spends so much time with us. She sees us interacting with adults. She sees us going to restaurants, whatever it is. So she's feeding off of that as well, and she's learning from us.
Yeah.
Whereas
She's not solely with like a
with
peer
other
group,
children,
you know.
yeah. And they're not solely interacting between them. She is interacting with adults and other people.
I can get that. Like on a much smaller scale, I traveled a lot as a child because my mom was working with Singapore Airlines. So at home, financially, we weren't doing too well, but there was just this contrast to that, which is every year we'll go somewhere and she would pick like somewhere far, you know, so we could go see new places. And to date, these trips are what have become the reason why I love to travel. They're like also the way I view the world is so different than my peers in Singapore. And I think that has a lot to do with all those travels. You get to see, people sound different. They live different.
Yeah.
I think we are poor in Singapore, but wait, there's levels to this.
Yeah.
There's like so much that you pick up that you don't pick up in school. And I sucked at school, but travel made me realize that. And it gave me the sense of confidence because you're talking about Mila getting like being out there and speaking up. When you are traveling and speaking to so many different types of people who look different, speak different, you can hold a conversation as a child and get their attention. You feel confident. And I think that that's something you take with you forever. And now if you put that in the context of Mila and also Jaiga, it's like that's their lifestyle.
Yeah.
So it's just on steroids. It's amazing.
I think for us as well, Mila's our daughter, so however she behaves is, we think, oh, she's fantastic. Yeah. But when other people continually say the same things, you start to think maybe
we are
the
doing
norm
something right,
that she's
something that's going to kind of build those foundations for later on in life.
So
which obviously as a parent you're proud
by
of.
like strengers?
Yeah.
Oh, so interesting.
Within minutes of meeting her, we'll always say to us, how old is she? Gosh, she's so confident. Oh, her vocabulary is amazing. Like the same things happen all the time.
But you're used to it.
And so we're like, oh, thank you. Obviously it's amazing that she's like that, but it is 100% down to the lifestyle we're leading with.
We are used to it in a way, and we now don't see kind of any difference. But my mum is a teacher. She's a nursery teacher. And she always says to us, like, you guys don't know the difference between, because she teaches Mila's age group as well.
Has she broken it down and told you exactly what are the differences that she sees between the kids in her nursery and then Mila?
The communication is such a big thing, honestly.
Yeah,
You
from
can
very
have
young.
A full-on conversation with Mila.
She understands.
She thinks about it. She analyzes things.
She just knows her place in the world, I guess. Like she's so
intrigued by everything. Again, I think that's travel. She'll go and speak to locals, even though they don't speak the same language. She's playing with other children from wherever we are visiting or anything like that. So she's interacting,
trying to
figuring
involve
out. She's figuring things out by herself.
This is one of the most unique travel hacks I've ever heard. Get a kid. Travel's better. But I wonder, because obviously lifestyle like this can also have its own challenges. How are you going to approach school?
So it's legal to homeschool. So I'm going to homeschool, especially while I think she's so young and while I can physically see how much she's gaining from travel, so the first kind of fundamentals in reception is they start to learn phonics, so they can start to read and start writing and all of these kind of things. So I'm conscious that education is so important, and I don't want it to come across that we're just these nomadic parents that travel and think, oh, we'll just fling our kids anywhere. We want them to have an education, but I don't think that putting them in four walls 24/7 is
especially
the answer, especially at this age. Yeah. But we've just kind of said, we're going to try it. It's new to us, it's new to them. And if Mila really I'm talking about Mila mainly because she's the older one, obviously, Jag. But if she really expresses that she wants to settle down, she wants to go to a school, she wants that in her life, then we'll kind of reassess it. But I think while she's young and she doesn't necessarily know what's best for her yet, she's just becoming, then I'm happy to kind of make the decision and try homeschooling and see how it goes.
You need to then learn what to teach.
Homeschooling's been around for years, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's just...
We want to homeschool.
So like speaking to other parents who homeschool, they do everything in like an hour a day, an hour and a half a day, everything, so that everything else, she can be out learning about different cultures, landmarks that we go and visit, that is all still learning.
And time can be dedicated to things that she actually is interested in, rather than you have to sit down and learn about something that she has absolutely no interest in. And then it's just difficult. Whereas if we have like an hour, she knows we're going to have an hour of learning time, and then we can go and swim. And then the days are still broken up and she's still, like you say, learning, but from doing rather than just sitting and existing.
Well, does she realize already at this young age that her life is different than most 4-year-olds?
We always involve Mila in the conversation as well.
Yeah.
I think that is so important to involve them in the conversation so they understand and begin to understand.
She's excited by it.
She's
Like
excited.
Does she ask like, when are we going again?
Yeah,
really?
She may ask.
Like, I want to meet my friends.
Yeah, things like that, and those things do break her heart.
But on the flip side of that, she has friends all around the world already as a 4-year-old. So we'll be like, oh, we're going to go and see Noosa. And she's her friend in California. And she's super excited because she knows she gets to go to California. And she knows that we went on a trip with them to New York. Her memory is dotted around the world. And she's now got friends in Australia. We spent a lot of time there this year. I have a friend there who has a daughter, and they got really close. But then she likewise made friends in Fiji who live in Australia, who are coming to Bali. So she's got all these connections as a 4-year-old, and it's just wild, you know? And they equally, because she met them traveling, they have now an experience that's outside of a classroom. A lot of parents whose children are similar age to Mila and they spend some time playing with her will say to us, my child has benefited so much since playing with Mila for half an hour.
Oh, wow.
Because Mila will try something and she'll encourage someone to do it. Like, come, like you can try, I'll help you.
Wow.
And
I'm so proud.
I know.
yeah, honestly.
You know, Sonia was saying something that made me think.
I was saying that love can seem so hard when we don't have the tools and we feel like we need to navigate it all alone.
Yeah, I feel like we've gotten used to this concept that love must be either self-love or maybe love with a partner. But how about learning about love in a group of people who want to be better at it?
Exactly. And it would really, really help us if you help us hit that subscribe button, because we can reach more people and get the best guests on the show that help us push that narrative of believing in love again. So
do that, please. And as you hit subscribe, maybe also hit the bell so you never miss an episode.
Thank you so
much.
What were your childhoods like? Because clearly you have a very different parenting style as well. Was this how you were raised, or was it the opposite?
Mine is, I guess, more traditional. We went on like one holiday a year to France or Italy. My dad was very much into like driving us there. So we'd all pile in the car with our like camping gear and we'd stay in like a Eurocamp or something, which is, you know, like a campsite where you can hire.
Yeah, siblings.
Yeah, have a brother and a sister. And it was very outdoorsy. But in terms of kind of when you grow up, it was very, you would do school, you would do university, you would get a job 9 to 5, then you would get a house. And that was always my kind of progression. I never kind of questioned the outside of that. I just thought that's what everybody does. Done university, I went to London, got a job in fashion, and I loved that life. And it wasn't until I kind of met River that I started to question. If you're very happy doing what you're doing, then you've won in life, you know? But if you're not, there is other ways to live a life. And I think, you know, a lot of people just don't question it or don't think about it. And that was definitely me. And not through a negative experience, but just I have a family who follow the rules. So my dad passed away when I was young, when I was 12. So then my mum kind of raised us for a while and now she's remarried. She's a very strong lady, but she's very by the book. I'm the opposite. I've always been a bit of an opposite. My brother and sister are quite home bunnies. And for me, travel was always like, I want to go somewhere new. I want to do something. One kind of travel to India would lead to one travel to somewhere else. And I would always spend all my holidays trying to book things. And I think she just kind of thought I'd get it out of my system one day. And now we kind of live this life and we work as content creators. She still doesn't really understand maybe what that is and what we do. And she's on board, but still will say sometimes like, when are you going to get a real job? Or,
Oh gosh.
you know,
We understand. Only recently, I think our grandma realized that we have a job.
Yeah. Because she's the one who would be telling him, like, we have a business together with 20 employees and reaching so many people around the world, have a mission, have a charity, everything. She's like, maybe, you know, you can be a chef. Or maybe-
She wanted me to be a hairdresser.
Yeah.
That's the most. And she
Like,
even
yeah.
said she put some money aside through her life that she left. for
Had
me.
you ever done hairdressing before? Oh, no.
And she in like the 1 year before dying, she still like was like, you know, like when these things don't like work out.
Yeah,
there's
when-
always this
when they don't work
fear-
out.
There's always this fear that they don't work
Yeah.
out at some point. She has money on the side, and we can open like a small hairdress, like a place in our
so
town.
sweet.
She was the
Sweet.
The
sweetest.
sweetest thing in the world. But I think that's what like makes it so unique, that we have such unique jobs.
Yeah.
You guys are an example of like leaving the corporate world to live your world.
yeah.
So how was your childhood that led you to this?
I've had one home and you've had how many?
I don't know.
20. So
Countless homes.
before
Yeah,
we'd
yeah.
met.
Wow.
Yeah. But that's a blessing and a curse,
Yeah.
really. Like the
Yeah.
sense of home.
But you know, that side effect is not necessarily just because you traveled so much. Because me, I spent my whole life in one place, and I also don't feel an attachment as a sense of home
Yeah.
to where I come from. So you could have been there even without all these adventures.
So
But
that's-
also you found that feeling outside
yeah.
of it.
Yeah. I mean, now the feeling of cliche is like wherever Corinne and the girls are, right?
Yeah.
So like it's traveling, that's home. That is home. So yeah, that was it. We moved. Grew up in Spain from 9 to 19. Went back to university in Southampton in England. Got a job in ASOS once I came out. Met Corinne. And the corporate world, to be honest, like I just don't want to work for anyone. Like I don't want to be told what to do. So that was kind of the beginning. And this was at a time where YouTube and the travel creators were kind of popping off.
It's a difficult thing to realize, but sometimes I see in the world where parents almost don't want their kids to go other way because it reminds them that they could have had a different life.
Right.
It takes a parent who really loves their child to be like, you know what, I didn't really like my life that much. Can you go other direction so I can see you thrive?
Yeah.
A good CV, we can always go back to those jobs.
Yeah.
We're in a good position for that. If you never try something, you never know.
Yeah.
We were told that when you start talking about your story,
You brought something.
you need to give us something.
So I guess like our story, we met when we were working at ASOS. So I was a fashion stylist there, and then Riv was obviously working as a videographer, video editor, and our paths would cross. We were friends. Friday night drinks is a big thing in the corporate world. So we would all go out and have drinks and kind of got to know each other better and started dating. I think we'd been together about maybe 5-6 months. And then we went to Amalfi Coast for our first kind of summer holiday together. But during that time, when we were in Amalfi, this is probably going to make no sense if you're looking at a leaf and you're thinking of Amalfi.
Yeah.
So this is an oak leaf, and my maiden name is Oak. So before we got married, obviously comes from my dad, so Oak. And we were always told, like, from small acorns comes mighty oaks, and all of this saying, oh, it's going to make me sad. So in the middle of the Amalfi Coast, you don't think that there's oak trees anywhere around. You know, it's not the kind of nature that grows there. Nothing around.
No trees, nothing.
And literally floating past us was an oak leaf. And I was like,
I get chills as you say that.
and this is the exact leaf. I kept it. I got it out of the water, and I kind of pressed it between like a notebook the whole way home. And I took it home, and then I told my mum the story. I think I told her before, but I told, and she was like, you know, we have to keep it. So she framed it for me. It's like pressed and framed and in a glass thing, and it's on the wall in my old bedroom at my mum's house.
That's
so that
beautiful.
one day when we do get a base, we can have it. But yeah, it's just so special, and it kind of like cemented for me that my dad's approval of River, and because obviously he'll never get to meet him. So yeah, it was
Where was
so
it floating
weird.
on?
Just
Just next to us
literally
in the
floated
ocean.
right next to us. Nothing
yeah.
around, and just an oak leaf. We're not super spiritual, religious
I am.
people, you know. But you
That's
can't
crazy.
deny
That's
things like that,
beautiful.
you know.
It's really beautiful.
There's been a few things that have happened in my family to do with my dad. Like the first grandchild that was born on the day that he passed away. And, you know, there's just a few things that have happened that are signs and definitely memories and mementos of him. So that felt like a strong message.
And it must feel just so nice to know as well, outside of your relationship, that he's there.
Yeah.
And that he's watching in his own way. His
100%.
presence is still around.
And Mila, I mean, she's such a, my dad, she'll call him Grandad Star. So whenever we're anywhere we are in the world, she'll look up and see the brightest star. And she's like, Grandad Star's there. And then she'll talk to him for a minute and say, hi, you're with all your other friends, the other stars. So there's just that kind of, it's nice to have that kind of
It's so beautiful,
thread
yeah.
with her.
Can we please grab kids?
We need to learn their travel hacks. How many countries have you traveled with your two daughters?
About 24, 25.
25, okay. What is, based on your experience, the best country in the world to travel with kids to?
Dubai has a great place if you go in the winter months. So you can enjoy the beach, you can enjoy, you know, the malls, whatever, what Dubai has, but it also has so much for kids. There's like kids museums and outdoors things that you can do if you go in the winter months. But also I would say like California.
Yeah, we love California.
California is an amazing place to kind of road trip with kids because you've got the beach, you've got that kind of easy, take your kids to the beach.
You've got the good weather.
Lifestyle, the good weather. But there's amazing national parks that like so much nature you can surround them with. Great campsites if you want to do van life for a bit, which we did with them.
Another one is the Dolomites.
Yes,
they have,
that's an amazing place for kids,
They have hotels called Kinder hotels,
Okay.
which we'd never heard of before.
We've
I
never
have
heard
not
of,
heard
right?
of, yeah.
We'd probably say they are the best
They're kid-centric, like.
hotels that are geared towards families and children. You know, you'd go in your bedroom, they have a foldable baby change
In your room.
In your room. You go to the restaurant, they have a weaning station. So when your baby's first starting to eat solids,
They have the high chairs, not only just for a child, but for the
babies.
lay down one. So if you have a baby, you can have your baby at the table with you.
Thought it through.
Every single
thing
thing that you
they've
have as a home comfort is there.
Is it expensive?
Yeah.
Extra expensive.
But
But
if
then
you're
the
looking for a-
activities
yeah,
as
I was gonna say.
well. The activities, like they've got pony riding every day. They've got, swimming. They've got there's a million activities. Painting. The kids clubs are like wild. And for me, I never went to a kids club as a child. And I think there can be a negative connotation to it. Like, oh, you stick your kid in a kids club and the parents go off and have the day. But it's a lot more inclusive of families coming and having time with your
And
kids.
also the things they're doing artwork, they're doing woodwork.
Woodwork, yeah. Mila made a heart.
They're out in nature, so it's again,
really
it's hands-on
catered
learning.
towards
Yes.
So you gave us 3 examples of rich people stuff. Dubai, California, and Dolomites. Now give us one example of something a little like more down to earth.
People forget to explore their own backyard. Like people tend to think, oh, we need to leave our country, wherever you live,
true.
to go on holiday. You really don't. Like, if you're on a budget, if you're trying to find things that are more affordable, look in and around where you live. There are plenty of things. Or even if you could, jump in your car and drive 4 or 5 hours down the road to somewhere else, there might be nature.
I do see what you mean by there's so much of like our own countries that we don't know and that we end up learning usually when someone's visiting our country and they're like, so where should I go? And I'm like, let me Google where you should go.
Yeah.
Rather than I should know, but I'm actually checking. And that gives you the reality check of how much of your home have you explored.
Like one of our favorite places ever is Scotland.
Yeah.
Is Scotland.
I just remember opening the curtains every morning. Like you're in a camper van, you'd not got much space. And she would just, every morning, she would go, wow. You wouldn't do that as an adult. You'd open the curtains and be like, oh, that's pretty. But as a child, you see that and you think, wow, what are we doing?
That makes you experience it deeper as well
Exactly.
through the eyes of your daughter.
Exactly. Everything we do now, no matter how hard it is still, to get that reaction from Mila.
Once again, it's
it.
a travel hack. Get a kid.
Yeah.
You want to travel?
It makes
that
you
way?
have so much more presence and gratitude
Yeah.
for it. Make me picture your life behind the scenes. What actually is a typical day like when you're traveling with your kids and creating content and being a mom and dad? Let me see it. Let me feel it.
Usually I am up with the kids first. Get up, get them some sort of breakfast and kind of, unwind with them for a minute. If we're somewhere for a short period of time, then we're conscious we want to get out and explore, create some content, also show the girls somewhere, and inevitably find some sort of playground, play area where they can release some energy. And usually we always kind of spend the mornings to lunchtime together. And then depending on our work schedule, if River needs to edit something or I need to create a voiceover or I need to be planning logistically, then one of us might take the afternoon to go and work while the other's with the kids. So one of us always is obviously with the girls, whether that's like we go swimming, it'll just always be activity based.
And also within that, Jagger's still napping, so we need to put her to sleep.
And then they usually tend to go to bed about 7. So maybe from like 5, once we start to think about getting them dinner, whoever of us is working will switch off. We'll have time together to have dinner together, give them bath time, read them stories, put them to bed. And then by like 8, we then get our laptops back out and work from 8 till midnight.
And you're usually awake at 6, 7?
When we go to bed, sometimes Jagger will wake, and so I'll kind of rock her, give her a cuddle, put her back down, and then she usually sleeps through till about 6:37, and then starts again.
Do you feel underslept?
Oh yeah.
You do. Is it like consistent? Do you feel like you sometimes have a night of like actual 8 hours and you're like, oh.
If that ever happens, I wake up and I'm like, something's happened. Like, have I slept?
That's crazy.
The thing is with kids, like the first year is difficult, but then every kid is different. We were kind of lulled into a safe space with Mila because she was a great sleeper from young. But I think you forget as well, like we definitely had some difficult nights with her, but we forget about them because she was on the whole quite good. Whereas Jagger is different. she's a lot more attached to me. And I don't know whether that's a second child thing, because we have two, we have had to kind of divide and conquer a lot of the time. So River's inevitably been with Mila more than I have during times, because naturally I have to breastfeed,
Right.
or I've had to be with her, or, you know, the mother is needed more than the dad, especially in the first year.
How does it affect the two of you in terms of like your intimacy? Like, this might, you know, like, how are you having sex? Like, how are you having sex?
You haven't for the last 4.5 years.
But yet we've had another child.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a miracle.
There she is. She's like, don't you?
It's hard.
You get into, especially again, because of our lifestyle and our job, like we work in the evening. So as soon as we get into bed after a day, we're like,
Yeah.
We know this.
We have that. We
We're
don't
just-
have kids.
Yeah.
so you know the feeling, like that's, you know.
You actively have to
I don't know. It's
make
still-
space for it.
It definitely
for
is to
each
be
other.
actively faced.
I just don't think that like the effect of having kids on your relationship is spoken about enough. Like, it's huge. Your love for one another changes.
So the
Right,
love
it-
changes?
I think my love
connection.
for her has grown because seeing her become a mother and how she is, right? But when you're in it, and you're going through it, like, you know, you might want to just, I don't want to see you for like a week.
Yeah.
You know,
get
it's
it.
that kind of thing.
You're just on all the time.
it's
Like, you have to
intense.
be, you can't just say, I'm going out for a bit. I
Yeah.
can't have a break. The kids need something. You have to show up. You're a parent now, you know, like there's no just walking away from anything. So because you're always on, they either need feeding, changing, sleeping, something. And then you've got to think about work and then have a conversation about something else. And then there's just life admin, you know, it's just life, but you add in kids and trying to keep a relationship healthy. And also I think there's a lot of underlying things that happen, you know, like your point scoring against each other. Like, oh, well, I've spent all morning with the kids. What have you done? Or I slept no sleep last night and you've been sleeping till. There's just all of these. And if you don't talk about it, it's just resentment against each other that builds up. And I can 100% understand how the strongest relationships go through difficult times, because if you're not communicating and you're not talking about how you need some time for yourself, you know, you really do. I think first time around, I just gave so much to Mila that it wasn't until like a few months in that I kind of just broke and I was like, I need some time for myself. So second time around, I think our communication about how to help each other out in raising such a newborn was a lot better. Yeah. It's new, you know, you don't know how you're going to be as parents. You don't know how each other's going to be. And it's just an adjustment. And if you communicate about it, then it helps.
But even that in itself is hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tired. You don't want to.
You don't even have the
Yeah.
time or energy to like have that conversation that could potentially, at least you know going into it, this could potentially be like a big one.
Yeah.
And your like life force energy is already at its lowest. So I can just only imagine what then needs to happen, or that you two do, is you understand that this is a chapter in your relationship that is not going to be maybe the most connected or intimate, but that doesn't change the fact that you are a team and you're committed.
You've got to be a team. You have to be a team. Like any team, sports team, anything. You go through bad times, you got to stick together.
Right.
And it's the same. It's the same in a marriage, in parenting. You've just got to stick together and know that it is just a phase. Just a phase.
Yeah.
Like now Mila is starting to get to that age. Once Jagger gets to that age,
It does
Smooth
go
sailing.
quick. I mean, people.
he says.
Yeah, right. And this is the thing. This is what we talk about a lot, is that River went into parenthood with like rose tinted glasses. I always say to him, he's like, because really he wanted a kid more than I did.
We have the same thing.
I never had a desire or a pull to be a mum. It was never like, I want to be a mum one day. And I love kids. And, you know, both my brother and sister had 3 kids each before we had kids. And so we would go around their houses and there's chaos and everything. And I would always look at River and be like, are you sure?
Thank God that's not us.
Yeah, we can leave right now. And he was always like, yeah, like I can't wait, I really want to have a baby. And then the whole time during my pregnancy, obviously I found that quite attractive. I was like, oh, that's really sweet that he wants to be. And then this whole time through my pregnancy, I was thinking, you know, it's not going to be like flowers and rainbows and happiness and stuff all the time. Like they're going to cry, they're going to scream. And he just was like, yeah, fine, whatever. And then I'd say like 2-3 weeks into it, he started to realize like, oh, yeah, I'm exhausted and they're crying and they stink and whatever. So yeah, I always call him the good time dad, because when Mila and Jagger are happy and want to play, he's there. When they're not, where's River gone?
That is
Just
really
me.
scary to me, because Aegon and I used to joke, like in early days, we had like, whenever we would have fights, I'm like, I don't want to know that you are the good times partner. So when we're good, you're there. And then when we're not good, you kind of just disappear and pretend we don't have issues.
Yeah.
Baby.
This was 3 years ago, I think.
No, but you know what though? Everything that you've said, you still chose to have a second child.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that says a lot. So yes, it's not easy, but you both chose to do it all over again.
Yeah, exactly. And I would do it again. And
Oh, bless
I mean,
Are you ready, River?
The rules have reversed. He's like,
Get to
slow
work.
it down.
the rules did reverse with Jagger. I would say that I was definitely a lot more like, I'm ready in myself.
Yeah.
We knew we wanted to give Mila a sibling. That was no question. But and it's a toll on a woman to be pregnant and have the baby. And especially the first year is a lot more on the woman. So I wanted to be ready. You know, we never had like a destined age gap or anything like that. It was just more like, oh, okay, I actually feel ready. And I think Mila's ready. You know, she's at that stage where she could actually be helpful to me rather than another baby.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think you forget about the pain, you forget about the sleepless nights. Just like all of the happiness outweighs it, doesn't
Yeah.
it?
You don't, but it's just
still
in the
remember.
grand scheme of things, you've got two amazing
Kids, yeah.
A lot of parents out there struggle, right?
Yeah.
Especially new parents. And it doesn't matter what financial status you're on, what life you live. You can wake up in the camper van in Scotland and open the covers and see the beautiful world, but you still have these human experiences that are difficult. And I think it brings a lot of comfort for people watching this who are parents and perhaps they're not having the glamorous life, right? To know that with your lifestyle, you still have the same problems as them. My friend, who has a very good relationship with his daughter, he said that when she was born, he needed to take time to fall in love with her. So like he would feel a bit disconnected and isolated because the mother has the instant love when the kid is out. It's like instant connection and love through your experience and so on. But for a father, sometimes the kid is out and it's not like you instantly so connected. How was it for you? Did you feel connected right away or did you have to learn how to love?
Yeah, that love's definitely grown. Like it wasn't, I mean, of course you love your child, but it wasn't, you know, that feeling. And I think because, you know, that baby has been a part of the mother through 9-10 months, you know, of the pregnancy. And once that baby is born as well, then you have to learn to adapt as a dad. Like it is no longer just you two. Like the mum's priority is that baby. It's not you anymore. So like you have to adapt. I think that's where your love grows as well. Seeing your partner that you love
Go through commitment.
Go through everything. The pregnancy, the birth, then become the mum. Yeah, it's and I think that's where the love grows from.
I think it helps men understand to kind of not be mistaken that when the daughter or son is out, you're instantly like this amazing father who's so deeply involved. It's more just like in any relationship, there has to be work in order to for their love to consistently blossom and stay consistent and beautiful. It's the same with fatherhood. It's not magical switch, the kid is out and you're just like so in love. It's again a work of emotional like processing and everything in order to become the best father. And I think for me, as a child who was not given love, I did not feel loved by my parents. I felt loved by my grandma when she adopted me. But when you don't realize this, that you have to work in order to learn how to love, especially as a man, emotionally. And we as men talk so little about these things. It's like emotions, man? No, that's weak, right? But we all, like, not all, but
I think it's
majority of us.
changing. I think it's starting to change.
I think majority of fathers want to be amazing at it.
And that child isn't going to just love you.
Yeah.
Because you're
so
their
it's
dad.
fair.
Exactly.
That's cool.
You know, you've got to work it as, you know, you've got to earn that child's love.
You would just always show up. Even if Mila would be like, no, I'm going to be with mommy or whatever. River would never, you know, be upset, whatever, you know, that you would do if it was an adult who was always shoving you away. He would always just show up, always be there, always cuddle, always just listen. And now it's paying off 1,000 times.
What are your priorities, like top 4 priorities in life? And if you can, like right now.
For me, kids, number one, girls are number
the
one.
girls.
Really?
100% always.
You know, there's a lot of things out there, like your partner has to be number one for your kids to understand that. The girls need to feed off our energy, so that relationship should be a priority as well. You know, the teamwork, the parenting aspect of it.
How they see
you, how they see your
parenthood,
relationship, how they see, you know, you interact with their sister or with them. That's a priority.
Yeah.
Our business.
Yeah.
Our business is a priority. Without that,
None of this would be.
we wouldn't be able to give the life that we lead at the minute for our girls. Just the girls. That's
Happiness.
it.
Their happiness.
We just want them to thrive and be happy, expose them to the biggest things that they can possibly be exposed to.
So that they know there's more to life. Not that means that they don't, if they end up being whatever they want to be, a doctor or in a corporate job, whatever, as long as they know the world is theirs for the taking, they can be whoever they want to be. We'll always be there to support them and to listen, because the world's going to change. It's going to outdate us.
already changing.
The next
crazy.
years are going to be so different because of the explosion of AI and how it will affect. We sometimes talk about the idea of like how different it's going to be to raise children now. Because every generation has a different thing. You know, smartphones were in the thing in our lifetime, right? When we were young. But now it's like so many things that are designed to take away skills from young kids, because you have AI to do anything for you. And there's this weird fight of like, as we spoke, like you have a child that you send to school at 4 years old, but the school is so behind of what's happening in the world that you'll spend 15 years learning mathematics, but you'll spend 0 years learning about finances.
The people we always speak to when we say homeschool, our audience, the people who tell us most that we should homeschool are mainly teachers.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that says that says enough for us.
I completely. So I have a full family of teachers.
Right.
My aunt has told she doesn't have kids. She's the only teacher left in teaching, and she says that in her school, all the parents, so many of them, homeschool kids, and they are teachers.
Yeah.
So that does
Speak volumes.
it speaks volume.
Because they're in it, right?
Yeah.
They're in it daily.
And they
know
don't have a choice a
The
lot of the
curriculum, they
time.
know the system, they know, you know, so they know it's not keeping up with today's world.
But what can they do? It's their
Yeah.
job, you know?
When you have your kids as top priority, you know, maybe tops 18, they're with you, and then they go on and they have their own lives. And already when they're early teens, they're going to have their best friend, and they're going to have this, and they're going to stop. You're not going to be the center of their world anymore. Isn't there then that fear of like, I've centered my whole life around you, you are top priority, and then once you leave, everything
Void.
else is sort of empty, or because I didn't, water a few other gardens that were important to me in life, whether that's relationship. You know what I'm trying to say? Like,
100%.
is that a fear?
My world has revolved around the girls so much since they came in through like, and that's my choice. And I couldn't be happier that my world revolves around them. You know, like they are just the best. But now that Mila is becoming so much older and so much more independent, and it has made me question my purpose in other things. And there's other ventures that I want to, really delve into. And I think that is also where a base comes into it, for us having some more stability, for us having a little bit of people that we could perhaps rely on a couple of days a week, so that we can grow our business more, so that we can explore separate ventures. We've been together 24/7 for all of our relationship, basically.
Having kids together, working together,
Yeah.
it's like a very intense.
Yeah.
I sometimes wonder, because we also work together. Like, my feeling And we don't have children, so I don't know how that compares. My feeling is that it's a great gift to be able to work together as a relationship when you pull it off.
Yeah.
I feel like when you have two separate jobs, there is an understanding that perhaps both of you come back at 5 p.m. or whatever, 9 to 5, and then you have all this time together. But I wonder if having the work together really elevates your relationship in like understanding each other's worlds. If you could have a choice, like full on your life doesn't change a lot, would you still choose to work together, or would you rather have two separate ventures and then come together after work?
I would still work together.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
But I think, like you say, we're at the point now where like we want to expand our business. So you have things that you want to do, I have things that I want to do, and now I think that's
We're limited.
And
Without
your
childcare.
business idea is from social media world, or you want to go into different?
maybe different elements. And I think that will also be good
Give example of some.
for our mental health as well.
Yeah.
Social media is tough.
Yeah.
Like the idea of being attached
It's
to the
relentless.
numbers and getting this and that. We've always had a bit of a different experience because our entire social media presence has been based only on the views. So we've never had any sponsorships and stuff. We are just attached to how well we do with our videos. It removes the pressure of needing to work with people in order to provide, but at the
But
same
also,
time,
you're completely at the mercy of
Yeah.
the platform.
we've been very fortunate
AdSense
to,
only.
to run
Wow.
like 6th year now, so we kind of dinosaurs.
that's amazing.
Consistent.
Yeah.
Amazing.
That is fantastic. Yeah. That's unique in itself.
It is, I know, yeah, it is.
But I see what you mean, because like for the two of us, something similar has happened because we've built the business together for like now 5.5 years, and we're now moving into just different directions. Aegon's, wanting to get back into his music. I've started mentoring women, and it just feels like that's the thing that it's calling you.
Yeah.
Natural progression.
It's a natural
We're growing up.
progression of like who we are, but equally, like maybe with this podcast, and in your case, it would be something different. There's still something that always brings us together. In your case, I mean, you have kids. You don't, like you keep
I'll always be
having
together.
these things to do. But yeah, I do really love creating with you. There's something really fun about it. There's something connecting about it as well.
When you're truly connected,
Yeah.
and we do have this invisible line of connection between us.
Yeah.
It's like you can have two individuals with great minds working beside each other, but when these two people come together, it's almost like three people working, because now you have the power of just like almost the ultimate understanding of what the person feels and thinks. And so you come together and you really enjoy the process more. I remember when things started working out in my life, it was when I met Sonia. It was early days. Imagining the idea that I would not have a person to share success and struggles with, it would just be 10 times worse. Like I could have gone through my life, achieve every single thing that I have. If she wasn't part of it, it wouldn't be like a little worse. It would be an entirely different experience. That's the beauty. And so I think, as a non-parent yet, I think having kids is similar, like for you, because you get to like have this connection of like, look what we've achieved.
And they make
here.
content together.
Yeah,
like both.
Look at this video. Look at this kid. Beautiful life. Can I?
Yes, we do that every night.
I wanna shift to gear and ask you a question. Maybe I'm fishing for some controversy. I don't know. It depends on your answer. You have been to multiple countries. Okay. I lived in UK for 7 years. I lived in London, so I know the country quite well. I wonder, for both of you separately, traveling the world, did it make you love your country more? Or did it make you love it less?
Love it less.
Okay.
100%. The understanding of colonization.
Yeah.
The understanding of, people have nothing. And they're the happiest people in the world.
Yeah.
And the UK is, we're chasing everything every day.
And
Some
miserable.
of the most miserable people. I don't think people truly appreciate what we have back home
Yeah.
and what we do now. Politics, the governments, Brexit.
Yeah. You guys have it. Yeah, pretty tough.
Those kind of things. But just travel, it just opens your eyes a lot more.
It's hard to go back, I think. Right now, we are actually toying with the idea of having a base back in the UK, and purely because it's quite easy for us to go back there. It's harder for us to now live in Europe because of Brexit. It's harder for us to get a visa, say, in Australia or America. So for ease right now, it possibly would be the UK, but are we overjoyed about that? No.
It's so interesting. I have not yet met a person who spoke that UK is better after Brexit.
It's not.
So it's such an interesting concept for me, because obviously a little more than a half of the people voted for it. And you would assume that out of 100 people you talk to, about 50 will say, yeah, Brexit was great. I never yet heard that this was a better thing. And I like that you're honest about it, because I think it brings two elements. It obviously brings the element of consequence to some decisions politically, but also just like the understanding for people who may want to follow your path in life. I do believe that you are, like, when someone goes into your Instagram and they just like sit for 2 hours on it and like really get to know what you're doing, you are like a walking advocates for perhaps you can do parenting differently and you can have these experiences. What this episode today is bringing to me that I really appreciate, and I appreciate your honesty and openness, is that there are consequences to that as well. So you don't try to do this whole Instagram thing of like, we live the dream life. Yeah. It's perfect. I love this and I love that. You really are honest. And I think that brings the authority for you to just like, what you say is true, and people who listen to us can take their own outtakes from it and be like, like, I'm okay if I leave my country, that I might need to move on from my roots.
Yeah.
And it's not sure that I will be as connected to my hometown as I was before.
Yeah.
Or I will have these challenges with my relationship because it's so busy extra on top of the parenting. I love your honesty. It's very meaningful. We did a heavy note. From colonization. I'm going to ask you on a lighter note. And as I'm asking this question, if we could bring the wheel of surprise. Yay! What are the top 5 tips you would give parents who are about to travel with their young kids?
We don't expect things to go a certain way.
So you can't overplan.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Right? No overplanning.
I will
He's
work
the
on that.
planner,
I'm the
so-
planner guy.
Yeah.
Make sure you have your things, but you might be delayed to get to the airport. Your baby might go to
Need
the toilet,
changing,
and you're going, things like that.
Everything is going to happen.
What will be, will be.
Yeah.
Okay.
Will be,
Number
will be.
2.
From a hygiene perspective, if you are still breastfeeding, then okay, fine. Then you're feeding them that way. But if you're bottle feeding and you're depending where you're traveling to, water and hygiene is a huge thing with a toddler and a baby. So that you just be prepared for that, in the sense of get yourself sterilizing tablets. So you can wash up your baby gear, not even just bottles, but especially bottles. Dummies, if you're using dummies or pacifiers, toys, anything that they've got in their mouth, which is a lot of things that all you need is cold filtered water and a tablet, and you can sterilize all of the things so that there's, no
Are
bacteria.
you getting filtered water and like certain place? You bring it with you?
Yeah, if we can't get filtered water for any reason, we'll buy it. Because especially with kids, especially with young kids, they can't tell you if they feel unwell. Yeah. And then sometimes it could be too late. So, like we always brush their teeth. We always make sure their bottles are cleaned with So sterilizing, some sort of hygiene, think of that before you go. It depends where you're going to. If you're traveling to a beautiful hotel, you might be able to request a sterilizer before you get there so you can sterilize things. But in the main, you can buy a sterilizing tablet. If you can't get it in your country, you can usually get it on Amazon.
Number 3.
A good travel stroller.
Yeah, stroller and
I love how
that's
what I mean.
Travel stroller.
In Visible Line, you both wanted to say the same thing for number 3. So what is
travel stroller that you can take on as hand luggage?
Yeah.
So you can literally take it onto the plane,
Folds
up, pop it in the overhead cabin. As soon as you get off, pop the baby back in.
Because inevitably you are walking 15 minutes from your gate to security, and that time trying to juggle hand luggage, trying to carry a sleeping maybe baby, and just to have the pram is life-changing, honestly. And also, to coincide with that one, is a baby carrier. So I still use the carrier with Jagger now.
A little backpack thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So maybe it's more crucial, I would say, if you have more than one child. With Mila, there's two of you to kind of help carry her, or if you've got a travel pram, fine. But if you're juggling two children and you're trying to board a flight and you've got bags, or you're trying to walk a long distance and you've got maybe an older one in the stroller, a carrier, just to be hands-free is invaluable, priceless.
Game changer.
Number
Game
4.
changer. Well, I
As
know.
we think about it, I'm going to give you an ultimatum. Yeah.
I get an offer.
We are either traveling or we are having no kids. This is happening.
You really put me here on
This is the first ultimatum of our relationship.
What the?
And I'm going to cut it out of the episode.
So we either traveling or not having kids.
Basically, we're either going to be traveling and having kids or not having kids.
Wow. Cool. I want to.
You can take your time. I
I
have so
will
much
travel.
of it.
Don't worry. I get to work. No worries. Let's assume we are not traveling so much
Yeah,
for
we
the
don't
sense
want to
of
do
traveling
that
now.
much. Yeah.
Would you say doing it when the children are born is crazy?
No. As soon as they have a passport.
Just
You don't
Yeah,
need to
it's
go
more
far. You can go local. You can go to
Test the
small
waters.
flight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay.
And you will be surprised. Like, it will just fulfill so much.
One of the reasons why I want to delay having a baby is because I'm like, no, I've got so much traveling to do first. So,
Yeah.
like, I need to go get that done, a lot of it, and then we can have a baby, and then, we'll do our like once or twice a year with the child type of trip, which will not satisfy my needs. So
Yeah.
I go get it done now.
Yeah.
But with your experience, it's like, no, you can do all of that with the kid.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
understood.
don't get us wrong, like things will change. There'll be certain things you might not be able to go to a certain restaurant or
Right.
that kind of thing.
Do a water sports thing together, or
Right.
That kind of thing. But
we tag team a lot.
Yeah,
Like
we
if we
tag
want to
team a
go snorkeling or diving, say, one of us will do it one time and the other time. So you'll miss out on an opportunity to have that time together. But you still get to do it.
or if
And
we
you
go
still
out
get
in
to
the
have your child
evening,
there with you.
We'll take the stroller. Maybe Mila will just go to sleep in the stroller. Then we'll transfer when we get home to bed. Things like that. You just
Okay, so I see tip number 4, tag team. Give
Teamwork,
us last
yeah.
tip and we move on to
snacks.
our wheel.
Snacks. I love it.
Snack. I was going to say don't travel with too much, but snacks, yeah. I mean, yeah, just always, especially once your kid reaches 6-7 months, once you started weaning them, just always have stuff on you.
occupy them.
For flights, there's no limit. So, with the liquid situation, there's no limit on baby food or baby milk. So if you're bringing formula, you can take as much as you want for a baby. If you've got medicines for babies, like it's all,
Yay.
there's no limits on that.
No,
Yeah.
Useful because I would assume new parents would never think that they can take more than 100 milliliters.
Yeah.
To flip that, also, I would say never pack too much. So in a sense that research the place you're going to.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Sorry, if you can hire anything
Yeah.
or get what you are planning on taking at the destination,
i.e.
travel light
travel car
and
seat.
get that there. Don't travel with it.
We try and travel as minimally as possible in terms of baby gear. So we'll have a travel stroller, we'll have a carrier.
You
but
do
never,
research before you fly
Yeah.
somewhere.
We
How
never-
easy it's going to be to get certain things.
Yeah.
You should do a course on this.
Yeah, you want to
Seriously.
spread your business? That's something
Like,
actually traveling with
Really,
kids.
like it's such an invaluable course.
And you are actually living it. Anyway, the time has come. You have brought your oak leaf. We have brought our wheel.
So basically, we have a wheel over here, and we just do this with our guests. You spin it, it's gonna, stop at any one of these, and then you'll find out what it is. So just go ahead and spin it first, and then
me.
Give it a good spin.
we're really funny if it stops there again.
Yeah, surprise quiz.
Quiz.
You see, you gave us 5 tips. Now you get 5 questions back.
How kind.
And I encourage anyone watching to play with us,
Yeah, okay. So, which country has more islands than any other in the world? Over 260,000 of them.
Wow.
A, Indonesia. B, Sweden. C, Philippines. D, Canada.
I feel like,
Sweden does have a lot of islands. They're not inhabited, some of them, but they do.
I feel like you're trying to trick us.
Yeah, same. I feel like Philippines is too easy. Should we say Philippines?
Yeah, I'm going Philippines.
Yeah.
Philippines. You were on the right path.
Sweden.
I learned it through this quiz. I
Two
had
of
no
us were like,
idea.
really? Sweden?
Yeah.
160,000 islands in Sweden.
Because I actually want to, I want to go around
You
the
see, your
archipelago.
gut feeling
Yeah.
was guiding into the right direction. Okay, 0 points.
Oh, half a point.
Zero. The
point.
consequences are terrible. With no points.
Question 2 is, in which country is it illegal to own only one guinea pig because it's considered animal cruelty due to their social nature? A, Switzerland. B, New Zealand. C, Japan. D, Germany.
So what did you vote for?
He said,
New Zealand?
you sure?
No,
You
I'm
change
not
your
doing
answer?
that.
Switzerland.
You're right.
Switzerland.
It's Switzerland.
You basically need to go with your second idea.
Yeah, I know, right? No, that's it.
Switzerland.
Yeah.
No way. That's a random
No way.
fact.
So random,
Super
right?
random.
Guinea pigs have more rights than humans in some other countries. Nordic countries are so.
Me
like-
too. They have the right everything.
When I visited Denmark, I was so impressed because the people there, they were paying 61 or 63% tax.
Yeah.
63% tax. So damn happy.
That's
We
the
had a
thing.
meetup with probably 300 people there, and it really felt like everyone was happy.
And they don't go to school till they're 7 or 8. And yeah,
Which makes more sense. I mean,
yeah.
4 is kind of crazy, in my opinion. So, which capital city is the highest in the world by elevation? Quito, Ecuador. La Paz, Bolivia. Thimphu, Bhutan. Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. I'm sorry if I butchered these names.
La Paz.
You're right.
Good job.
We
You
both
are
thought
right.
that.
Damn.
You're right.
2 more.
You're in a country where people slurp their noodles loudly, and it's actually seen as polite. Where are you? A, Thailand. B, Japan. C, Vietnam. D, South Korea.
I mean, any of those. Really.
Yeah. I'd say Vietnam.
Vietnam?
Yeah.
Clearly have not watched animes.
Japan.
They always eat so obnoxiously loud. It's considered like it's a good meal.
It's really good.
You know?
Wow.
Final question. This country has a town called Hell, a mountain called Doom, and a waterfall called
What?
Godafoss. Where are you? A, Iceland. B, Norway. C, Canada. D, Scotland.
Ice.
Iceland.
You're right.
Yeah.
Yay!
Into that waterfall.
That's it.
No, actually, I have a
You have a
question.
final? Okay, final
I don't know if it's
moment.
final. I have like 2 questions. You were talking about Mila and Jagga and traveling and snacks and all of these things. Of course, you're creating content together. So she's seeing phones and content and whatever. How, like, what's the phone policy? What is she learning about electronics? And
In terms of electronics, so she has an iPad. Travel days, as in like long haul flights, she's allowed it.
okay,
Other than that, there's no iPad.
She never asked for it.
She never.
She knows.
always
That's it. She's busy.
knows that.
TV. If maybe we have a slow day, we've been out traveling once in a blue moon. She can watch some TV
Yeah.
for a few hours.
And even when she watches TV, it's heavily.
Education, like she loves Attenborough. We watch Attenborough, right? So it's
We will.
So travel content.
We try and make or like
Sometimes.
educational. Don't get me
We'll
wrong,
watch
she does watch
what she's
cartoons.
watching. But make sure it's
Phones-
age appropriate and
Yeah.
it's, yeah.
Not brain rot.
No.
Exactly. And then phones, we try and not
Not be
have
on
them,
them around her.
filming. We're capturing content,
Then
but,
that's different,
we're
yeah.
not going to be.
But they
Scrolling, right?
she sees it as a tool to
Exactly.
make
Work, yeah.
stuff and work and not
Exactly.
scroll
Not
and kill
to-
time.
Yeah.
on-
it's
If
not like a
she's-
vacuum.
If we're on our phone, she'll be like, Mommy, are you doing some work? And I'm like, well, 90% of the time I'll explain to her, baby, I'm just going to go and do some work for like 10 minutes. You can play with Daddy and Jagger for a second. So if she sees me on my phone, she knows that
She associates it
it's
with
never
work.
because I want to be on it and not be with her. If I'm ever on it and I see her see me with it, I hate it. I honestly, the feeling, and I've said it to you so many times, I never want her to ever think that we think this is far more important than her. I
But
never
also,
want
we're
that.
not like we're not claiming that we're perfect. Like
No.
we do get caught out, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It speaks volumes so that she doesn't ask for it. So that
Yeah,
means
yeah.
she's so,
Yeah.
like, involved in her surroundings and nature and whatever it is that you've planned for her in the real life, that she doesn't feel that need to pick up the iPad.
And we don't travel with a lot of things, but we do have like a trunky, which is like a kid's pull along suitcase so she can ride on it in the airports. But inside of that is solely toys for the girls. So there's paints, there's drawing,
books.
So if ever there is a time where she wants to do something that she could potentially ask for an iPad in that situation, we'll get out her books and her toys and her colorings and paintings, or she'll get a bowl and go outside and make a potion with leaves and grass. You know, like
that. I suppose it's very common for you to be in tight spaces together by four of you. How do you have arguments and fights?
We're conscious of the language we would ever say in front of the girls, or how escalated that would get in front of the girls if, you know, they're asleep and we're having an argument. Like, you know, naturally that is going to happen, but I would never want them to ever be in an environment where they're shouting and screaming and calling each other horrible names or anything in front of them, because I don't want them to grow up in a world like that, or to ever be associated with, oh, mommy and daddy fight all the time.
It's acceptable.
Yeah.
But that doesn't happen anyway.
No.
Yeah, it's not like yours like, okay, when the kids are here, we don't do it. And then, yeah, exactly.
The kids are out and you're like,
yeah, freaking
To be
smashing you.
honest, I think as well, we rarely argue badly. A lot of the time we get frustrated with each other.
Lack of sleep.
But now
Yeah,
we're
it really is that, honestly.
That is it. That is probably it.
Yeah.
Or like, or mainly parenting as well. Like you'll probably have different views of parenting to you, right? So as you parent and your kids get older, you'll start to clash. Because you'll have
some
different
ideas.
And how does that happen if you're like actually literally on, like, is there one you default to? Is there like a veto power parent?
No. But we made it.
The president.
We try to make an agreement that like we won't have that conflict in front of them. Or gentle parenting. I am conscious that I always want them to have a voice. I don't want to always shout at them, but equally they need to know boundaries and respect. You know, it's hard being a parent and raising kids that I don't want them to fear us or think like, mommy says this, daddy says this. I want them to be them. And I don't want to always have to apologize for kids being kids. You know, if they want to run around and scream, I'm not going to be, sit down, be quiet, you know. So there's so many levels to parenting.
Who's the bad cop between the two of you?
I don't know. Me? I was going to say me.
I don't know. You are so cute. That was so cute. That was like,
Like it's both of you when it's needed.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd say you're firmer.
You have more
Choose your
patience.
words.
You have more patience.
Yeah.
You have more patience than I do.
Yeah.
So you have more of a tolerance of
Which has come
certain
from becoming a mum.
situations. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I was not a patient person beforehand.
Really?
And still certain
Yeah.
situations probably get to me. But also, I think you're so calm and you've always been such a calm influence on me and in life. River doesn't say a lot, but when he talks, people listen. And it's true. You do have that kind of aura.
Presence.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have a wise
He's the
presence.
same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like an owl.
Elder.
He's the same. I mean, he's very
Elder.
calm. He talks a lot, but he's very calm. He's like the grounded one, so very different.
But like
But he's
nothing's
the calm
ever
one.
to, you know, if something's going wrong, it takes a lot for you to be like, oh man. Like you'll be like, okay.
That's
'Cause
actually really good.
There's always worse things going on in the world.
Yeah, it's true.
Does this feel like
Conclusive for
complete?
you?
Is there anything that you maybe wanted to say that you haven't said or you want to share with people?
People are fearful of it because it's not the norm necessarily. Like for us, Mila's an amazing traveler because she's always done it, you know, so she'll sit on a plane for 16 hours, you know. But for those of you who only do one trip a year, which is still fantastic, and then you don't want to go again because they've kicked off on the plane, they don't want to sit in the car, you know, you got to understand that that's not normal for them. So of course it's going to be out of their norm, it's going to be different. The more children are so adaptable, they really are. Like if you're already thinking, oh, my child won't do that, then you've boxed yourself in, you know. Just try and you will be surprised by how your kids evolve. Oh, my kids won't go for a walk, my kids won't do this, my kids, okay, maybe that's true. There are certain things that, you know, they wouldn't necessarily enjoy straight away, but when it becomes part of their everyday, or they've gone on a walk and they've met someone and it leads to a different experience and a story that they'll tell and a memory that they'll remember. So just try it, and I guarantee like the benefits will outweigh the hardships that you might go through. Yeah, like the tantrum in the car, or like just it's so fulfilling for you and for kids.
I would think that having a child, I'll lose my freedom and my sense of self. But I have understood through life that freedom and discipline are the two sides of the same coin. And you keep saying that and showing me that by saying, okay, we tag team, we do this. I know one of the videos you said you gym. Like, so it's like when we don't have kids, we have all these things that we think we want to do, but can still do, right? And then when you have a kid, you're like, oh no, I can't. But actually it's helping you zero in on the things that really matter. And that's really cool as well. It's like, oh, actually, the choices are an illusion.
Yeah.
You can do everything when you don't have a kid, but actually the kid is making you go do the things that you really want to do. That's like,
You may have an
Can I ever
additional
use the
motivation.
child as
now
an
you're
excuse?
Like, hey, let's focus on the things we care about, we want to do. And
Yeah.
you've done that. And it's, if anything, it's giving you more discipline and therefore more freedom.
Yeah.
It's like,
Nice. Thanks for
Yeah.
bringing us closer to parenthood.
thank
Oh, I'm
you.
excited, you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much
Well
for having
done,
us.
guys.
Thank you, bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you.